Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Clinker2. In today's video I'm going to be going over the final evolutions of the starters and I'm going to be ranking them from best to worst. So starting off here we got Venusaur. Venusaur is pretty cool. I think his design is very neat coming from Bulbasaur. You know, when his bulb is closed, the Ivysaur kind of opens up. And then Venusaur, it like becomes a flower. You know, that's a really cool evolution stage from there. I don't really like it as much as some of the other designs, though. I do think it executes really well on kind of being the dinosaur, you know, plant type thing. And overall, I think it's a good design. I just don't like it as much as others. So yeah, so I'll move on here. We got Charizard. And Charizard is just really cool. He's basically the second probably most popular Pokemon next to Pikachu. I mean, everyone knows who Pikachu is, and right after that's pretty much Charizard. Charizard is just a staple in the franchise. For me personally, I really like Charizard. I like his design. I think he's overrated, but I don't think he's like... There's a reason why he's that high rated, because I mean, he is basically most people's, whenever they played the game, originally it's like their first starter. Most of the times they pick Charmander and then becomes the big dragon. Just like really cool. And competitive, he's also really good as well with Mega Charizard Y using Drought. Having it as its ability, having Solar Beam, makes it a really good, basically support type Pokemon at that time. And also just, you know, having Solar Beam is really nice too because it pairs well with Drought. Blastoise is cool. I like his design. His cannons on the back, you know, they shoot water. Very cool. I think it's a very nice progression from Squirtle to War Turtle into Blastoise. I think it has Shell Smash too, which is really nice because that makes his speed go up, attack go up, and this is a really good overall Pokemon to start off with. I'm pretty sure it has Rapid Spin too to get rid of entry hazards. But yeah, it's a nice Pokemon. For Meganium, I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. It's just, I don't think it has any competitive viability. It's also just kind of a, in my opinion, it's a lot like, comparatively to like Venusaur, it's just not really hitting there on the same level like at all. Its design is kind of just basic. It's just kind of one color, and then you have the flower and the little antennas. And that's really about it. I mean, it's a cool design, but I feel like it needs a little bit more. Maybe it doesn't need more. It's just not a super cool starter evolution in my opinion. Typhlosion is, you know, it's probably going to make a lot of people mad and upset. I don't think Typhlosion is... I could put him down... I don't know. It's either C or D. Really, I just don't like Typhlosion. Lava to Typhlosion is not that much different. And then he loses flames going into Typhlosion, which is kind of weird because Typhlosion has it on the back and the front. Or more towards it's like on both sides of the body. Typhlosion, all of his flames are on his neck. And it just doesn't look as cool as I would expect something like Lava to evolve into. But, you know, it is what it is. I just don't like it that much, I'm sorry. I don't think it has any competitive viability either, kind of like Meganium. Feraligator's neat. I think Feraligator is definitely a cool Pokemon. I'm going to put him an A+ tier. Kind of teeter in between A+ and A. I think Feraligator is definitely, it's kind of a more aggressive looking, you know, final evolution, which I think is fine. I mean, you're talking about the third evolution to your starter. And it's, I don't know about competitive sense, but I know it just looks cool. It looks cool. It's a crocodile or alligator, I guess. And it just looks cool. It's like a very aggressive looking alligator starter. Sceptile, this is an S tier. It's a really cool design. It kind of like a tree on its tail. For its tail, it has like bulbs on its back. It is like leaf blades. It's super kind of fast looking because it is fast. It's pretty good competitively. It has a lot of stalling capability with Leech Seed, Substitute. Just very good Pokemon overall. I like Sceptile. Blaziken, I also like Blaziken. Very good Pokemon. Design-wise, it's a fighting chicken. I mean, it's the chicken aspect might not be as prevalent here, but it's definitely a fighting stance and just looks really cool. I mean, Yeah, it's Blaziken, man. It has speed boost. He has a swords dance. It's a very aggressive, hard hitting Pokemon and a competitive. And it's nice. It's a very cool design too. Swampert is kind of just. This is not really my particular style that I like in Pokemon, so I can't really rate it up there with these two because I don't know. His design is cool. It just doesn't hit home as much as like these two up here. Its typing is really good, water, ground. It's a really good stall Pokemon because of that reason. And yeah, it's a neat Pokemon. It's just not as good as these in my opinion. It's just my preference on that. Torterra is cool, but he's super weak to like ice. You know, he gets like absolutely kicked in the face with ice moves. He's grass and ground, which is a cool type. I like his premise of having like kind of a continent on his back. That's really cool. It's like mountains on the side, like a tree on this side. You know, it even has like horns on like the side of his face. I like his design. I almost think it's a little bit over designed, but I like it. I just don't like it as much as these. That's basically what I'm ranking up by. Is like, do they belong in my mind on these tiers? And I don't think Torterra belongs here, but it's not a bad choice. I like Torterra. I played a lot of Gen 4. It's a really cool looking Pokemon. Just not as much as these. You got Infernape, kind of a jester monkey, I'm pretty sure is what his mythology comes from. And I think Infernape's pretty cool. I think it could go in A plus tier or A. I think I'm putting an A plus tier. I like how he looks. He's more aggressive looking because it's just how he's like kind of positioned with his like arms being like small, his legs being small, kind of fast. He just looks like a fun Pokemon to have on top of that. It's just a cool design. Like I said, I'm not too familiar in the competitive sense, but I just like his design. I really do. Empoleon, I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. I like his tuxedo. I could put it in B tier. Honestly, I could put it in B tier. I think it should be in B tier, honestly. Yeah, I'm putting it in B tier. It could go into C tier. I'm not a huge fan of Empoleon. There's some people that really like him. I just don't like him as much as I like Torterra or Infernape. Its Trident is cool. And I also like the tuxedo. After I figured out that was a tuxedo, it's pretty neat. Or a vest. Like, it might be a vest, but I think it's a tuxedo. It's a very cool looking Pokemon, and I also like its Trident. I don't know about competitive sense, but Water Steel is a nice type. So we got Superior. In Superior, I like his ability a lot. And I like the snake design. I don't really know what it's supposed to be exactly snake-wise, but I like his snake design. It's pretty cool. I think it passes for a cool design. And, yeah, I like his ability. I think it's Contrae or Contour or something like that. And basically, if you use something like Leaf Storm where it makes your stats go down with special attack, it actually buffs them upward. So you can do a lot of really cool like combos with that. You can, you know, kind of use Leaf Storm and then go into other moves. And that's basically getting an attacking move as well as like 2 Calm Minds or something like that. I mean, minus the defense portion. It's pretty cool. I like that about Superior. And I also like his design. It's not bad. Umbor, or I think it's Umbor. I'm pretty sure it is. Embor. It might be Embor. I just don't like his design. I think this gets in the side of being almost too complex here, because I don't really understand what this middle section is supposed to be. I think he's supposed to be a wrestler. His fire on his neck is kind of cool, but I just don't like how it's kind of like boxy almost. Nah, I don't like it that much, honestly. I don't know any competitive significance. I don't know if it has any of that. It just doesn't look like a fun Pokemon in my opinion. It's just kind of out there and just weird. Samurott is probably going to go... it could go into B tier. Could go into C tier. I like his, like... This is... Okay, so on Dew Water, it had a shell on its leg. On Samurott, it's like armor plating. Because it's a samurai type water Pokemon. And its head has a horn. On the back of its head, it has more armor plating. On its tail, it looks like it's a little bit... It's just a cool design. It's just... It kind of just feels clunky to me a little bit. That's why it's in C tier. It just... I think the headpiece is kind of what throws me off. I mean, honestly, it's probably what it is. This kind of throws me off there. You got Chestnut. This is also another F tier. I just don't like the fact it's more so a humanoid Pokemon. And I think it's not really done really well here. It's just kind of like there. Again, the costume type feel to it, except it has kind of a shield on its back, which is pretty cool. Outside of that, this Pokemon just doesn't really hit home for me. You got Delphox, which I'm probably going to put in an A tier. I like Delphox. It's a cool design, but I can't go much higher than that. Braixen had a wood piece in its tail, and then it evolves, and that becomes its like Witch Wand, which is pretty cool. And it's a Fire Psychic type. So it's a unique type for a starter, that's for sure. And it's just overall kind of a cool looking Pokemon, and I like how its stick becomes its like wand. Now Greninja is a S tier. This Pokemon is just cool, it's sleek, it says ninja in its name, and it's a ninja looking Pokemon. It's, you know, its scarf is actually his tongue. Very cool with its ability Protein, as it changes form to whatever moves it uses, because it gets stab off that. Very, almost at one time, this was a really prominent like competitive online Pokemon. It was very useful, very cool. I like this Pokemon a lot. I like its design. The Decidueye is cool. Probably gonna put it in A+. I just really like how Decidueye looks. It looks pretty. It looks kind of aggressive and calm at the same time, which is pretty cool, which is kind of what they're going for. It's supposed to be kind of a stealth archer. And I think they execute on it really well, especially for an owl, which is, I mean, it kind of makes sense. An owl, you know, it's a stealthy type bird, and that's what they kind of did here. So cool Pokemon. Its Z move is pretty cool if you go look at that on Gen 7. I just remembered that. I don't know if it has any like actual competitive significance. I just like how it looks. For design-wise, Incineroar would be A, probably like down here, maybe A+, somewhere in this here, but I can't, it has to be S, due to the fact of how competitive, significant this Pokemon is. This Pokemon, for the past 2 gens, has been like an absolute menace. U-turn, Parting Shot, this very aggressive Pokemon, can do a lot of interruption, being very aggressive. It's all around a good Pokemon and competitive, and its design's not that bad either. I like its design at the end of the day. It's a major step up from the other 2 previous evolutions of it. Primarine is pretty cool. For some reason, they like have this light blue color, and that just makes it look and stand out much different from here. It makes it look like the fairy type it is, which is what I think they're going for with the light blue color. It really does look like a fairy type. I don't think it has any significance in competitive at all. I just think it's a cooler looking Pokemon, and I used this in my playthrough of Gen 7. So yeah, it was a pretty cool Pokemon. I like it. I like Grassy Glide a lot with Rillaboom, but I just don't like his design that much. It's kind of His design's down here, but I really like his Grassy Glide move. I'll put him in C tier. I'll put Primarina in. I'll put Primarina back down here. Yeah, I'll put him on here. I don't think it deserves the spot. No, I'll put him in C tier. For design-wise, it's just Grassy Glide is really cool, and the fact he gets grassy terrain off the rip to use Grassy Glide is also very useful. Cinderace is also a very useful Pokemon at competitive because it has a Libra, which is basically Protein with Greninja. It has Court Change, which is pretty cool, so it can swamp the entry hazards to the other people's sides, which is a really cool move that they should probably put on more Pokemon, in my opinion. But as for now, Cinderace had it. Very cool Pokemon. Its design's kind of, I don't like it as much as like these, but I think I've used it in competitive enough to like it more than these Pokemon. Inteleon is kind of there. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me. It's almost so sleek that it doesn't even look like a design. Like it kind of just has like no meat to it. It's just kind of like there. I'd probably put it in D tier. D or C, depending on the day. I don't know. It's just not really that cool to me. I use Sobble in my playthrough. I mean, the Snipe Shot is pretty cool. I like its Dynamax form, like the big whirlpool thing at the top, and he sits on the top like a sniper perch. That's pretty neat, actually. But other than that, I don't really like it that much. I'll put it like in D, honestly. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you like it. If you have any differences or anything, just put them down in the comments. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. And see you in the next one.